Shalom. This is part 1 of What is Heaven?
The law of the Feast of Weeks produces heaven. Not everybody who sings about heaven will enter. Not everybody who talks about heaven is going there. Not everybody knows that there really is a heaven. Almost nobody knows what heaven really is. It's such a limited term in the dictionary. So limited until you can't determine what heaven is or where it is. So tonight, we're going to learn what heaven is and whether you qualify to enter or not. And if you do not qualify, what you must do in order to qualify. Heaven is known as paradise. And in my travels, I've heard many places on earth called paradise, such as Hawaii has been called Paradise Islands. And they say come back to many of the Caribbean islands, paradise. Now that proves something that's shocking. Heaven is known to be on earth. And that is shocking because that's not what I learned at home and in church. I learned, perhaps what you did, that heaven is a place that we don't know and can only hope to know about through death. And that left me with a funny feeling because I used to always ask the question, what about people who are left on the earth when the trumpet sounds? You tell me about death, but what about those that are still walking around alive? And then you heard confusion because the people preaching about heaven didn't know what to do with those walking around still alive. Now they could safely dispose of everybody dead because couldn't nobody check on death. Nobody ever had a visitor from the ground. And if anybody started coming up from the ground, you know what we would do. I don't need to go into that. Heaven seemed to be a place that only we would know our mother, maybe our grandmother. After that, we wouldn't know anybody in heaven anyway, because we didn't know our relatives. And according to the preacher, when he conducts a funeral, nobody's going to hell. You ever notice? I mean, all churches forgive the worst meaning on earth at death. All they just call the priest and let him be there, and boom, no matter how mean you were, you somehow get a chance to go to heaven. So all relatives have a chance to feel good about their devil relative. Now maybe you heard a hellfire damnation sermon for somebody that lived, but I never did. I mean, I knew people that were sure enough bad folks, and they were never condemned to hell. How many witnessed that same thing? So we knew even less about hell, except it's someplace that's on fire. That's about it. And you should think that with everybody dying going to heaven, we ought to know something about it, especially where it is. And it should be a place as important as heaven. Should have a lot of road signs. I mean, that should be a clear-cut map, in my opinion, to heaven. I mean, it's a place where everybody on earth wants to go, but there are no road maps. No road signs. No information on just the direct route. You know, what's the shortest route to heaven? And something strange about the way we were taught about heaven. No matter who we loved that went there, we didn't want to go see them. Ever notice? I mean, you may have loved, I don't care how you love whoever it is you knew. See, you still don't want to go there, wherever that is. Because see, you know how to get there. You don't have to wait and die. You know how to die. So why don't you just do what's necessary and go on? See, you don't trust the preacher either. So you say, well, life might be difficult, but I'm hanging around for better days. But yet there are references all over the earth. Shangri-La. How many heard of Shangri-La? So you who are scholars have heard of Shangri-La. You that are not scholars have not heard of Shangri-La. But that's a religious heaven of another people. But there's one thing unique about Shangri-La compared to the Christian heaven. It's in the mountains. See, Shangri-La is hidden up in some caves up there in the Himalayas. And all of a sudden, no matter how much snow and blizzard is around, just whoosh, all of a sudden you're in Shangri-La. Heaven. I mean, everything is blooming, sun is shining. I mean, all around this spot, it is natural born blizzard. You'll never get there normally. But yet, it's a place where people live. And you don't die. You just live on. In earthly, heavenly splendor. Another proof that heaven is on the earth. Now the trick is to cause the people to whom heaven belongs to believe it is outer space and a place you go after death. The enemies to the people of heaven have a vested interest in convincing the people of heaven that it can't be had on earth. And if you watch people from other nations, you discover right away if you're awake. So you have to be awake to see this. You really, when I call it to your attention, you'll realize what I'm about to say. If you watch the people on earth, all nations live, all rulers of the earth live as if they know heaven is only on earth. And there's something peculiar about all the rulers of every nation on the earth. They live in earthly heavens. A lifestyle the opposite of the true people of heaven. The people of heaven are living in hell on earth, while the enemies to the people of heaven are living in heaven on earth. They have all the luxury, everything that you can imagine heaven is. The rulers of the earth have it and live it and enjoy it. They and their children. So why is it that all the nations of the earth keep it secret that heaven is on earth, paradise is on earth? So that they can maintain their rulership under Cain's and Lucifer's lifestyle. The rich are able to live in heaven by exploiting the masses. The people of heaven created for everybody. The whole earth can enjoy heaven when the people of heaven take charge. Now, Lucifer, why is the world opposite now? Because Lucifer didn't want heaven for everybody. He wanted to be ruler of heaven for himself, proving he was jealous of Yahweh's heaven. and Yahweh's rulership and authority in heaven. Since Yahweh had already created heaven, it wouldn't do Lucifer any good to try to create another heaven, because heaven already existed. So he wouldn't get any credit for anything he did heavenly. So he was forced to try to create heaven out of the opposite. I know I was there. That's why I can tell you these things. So you didn't know about this, but I'm telling you because I was there. That's how I'm come down. I'm bringing heaven. Heaven is coming down to the earth. It comes down with me. And I have heaven with me, but in your underworld thinking, you can't see it. Not only can you not see it, you have no concept of what it is. Now that's the synoptic overview of how hell on earth came about. See, Yahweh just said, okay, Lucifer, now I'm going to kill you for this, but not now. I'm going to reserve you for the end of your rule. See, your rulership has an automatic limit. 6,000 years is as long as yours will be able to last without bringing self-destruction and destruction of all the earth and what I put in motion. So take your opposition and see if you can create heaven on earth. And if you can, I'll let you do it. So see, I'm God of both anyway. Bipolar opposites. I'm God of the negative and the positive. So if you can take negative and make it heaven, you go right ahead. But I'm telling you, it'll only last 6,000 years. And it's going to be nothing but hell, but you think you can do it, fine. See, but the reason I'm not going to kill you now is because of my stupid angels who were foolish enough to listen to you. I mean, you actually talked a third of my angels into listening to you because they didn't know the opposite. Now hear that well now. See, you didn't. Hey, if the angels of heaven all knew the opposite, then Lucifer couldn't have tricked them. They'd have known the end result. The angels of heaven only knew good. That's all they knew was the tree of life. That's all the fruit they had ever eaten from. In heaven, in the midst of the garden, that's all they ate was the tree of life. They had been obeying Yahweh. But see, the tree of good and evil was also there. Hey, you have free will. It's there. And Lucifer reversed our diet. He talked us into going against our good diet. And as you see today, he teaches you that the abomination is a delicacy. Lobsters and oysters and shrimp, every creeping, all things that Yahweh has laid out as an abomination, which is abominable. It's abominable because it destroys your health and your life. That's bad for your body and your mind. So it goes together. When you take a person's mind from good, then his body also pays the price of the badness. When you follow the good teaching, then your body has good health. When you follow bad teachings, your body has bad health. Because the angels only knew good, Satan came up with the opposite plan, and that wiped out a third of the angels of heaven. And Yahweh said, because you did that, I'm going to kill you. Don't worry. Don't think that because you can just rise up against me and go free. Oh, I'm going to get you. Just you wait and see. But I'm going to teach my angels a lesson. I know when you get through with them for 6,000 years, they'll be ready for me. Forever. Praise God. So see, when I told Satan that, he said, okay, I'll be ready for you. I'll have your angels ready to curse you to your face when you come. They won't even know you when I get through with them. So well, go ahead then. Lucifer actually thought he could exercise more power than I in 6,000 years. The whole thing was he really knows he's inferior to me. But the power that he felt he could exercise was in keeping the angels of heaven deceived against me when I come, and that I would never be able to recover you. And that's the way he felt he could get back at me and defeat me, was to take my loved ones from me and cause them not to know me when I come for them, and not receive me when I come for them, and that they would laugh at me and mock me, be stiff-necked, hard-headed, and rebellious against me when I come. And I said, go ahead. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show you, and you'll see that I'm God of gods. You may be a God, but I'm going to show you who's the God of gods. Now you watch. Praise God. So it's not mercy for Satan to learn a lesson. It's for the angels to learn. And now I am here proving Satan is a liar. Because he said you wouldn't recognize me when I come. He said you would not receive me when I come. He said you wouldn't serve me when I come. He said you would love his ways so much that you just wouldn't go for the opposite of what he told. You'd never return home. Looks like he's a liar. Praise God. Satan, from his inception, was and is an enemy to the people of heaven. So those of us who don't know where heaven is are the people of heaven. And those who think heaven is one place in the sky, Satan is a liar. So it's the opposite. It's right on earth. Gold, just like gold and silver is the real money, so he gives you the opposite. Paper. Honey is the real sweetener, genuine, legal sweetener. So he gives you granulated white poison and call it sugar because it's sweet. Yahweh gives you whole wheat bread with the life germ in the bread. So your enemy takes all the life out of the bread and bleaches it white. And you eat bread that has no life in it. None. And in case the crust just look brown, you'll tear it off. If it just looked like life, you'll tear it off. He taught you to love death and hate life. You can't enter heaven ignorant. Heaven is on earth, paradise. Heaven is also bliss. Give me bliss, baby. Get your dictionary. I'm going to run you tonight. I'm going to try my best to get where I'm going. It's going to be difficult. If I get where I'm going tonight, I might be here till 12. I don't know if you want that or not. Praise God. All your life you've been waiting to die to go to heaven, and you can find out how to get to heaven in just a few minutes. I think it might be worth the wait. I don't mind doing it if you don't mind receiving it. Praise God. When your feet get tired, you can stand up and cheer, but see, my feet will be tired right on. And I don't mind them being tired for you. Bliss.
Bliss. Supreme happiness.
Heaven is bliss. Now, your enemy told you you had to die to get to supreme happiness. When heaven is simply supreme happiness. You know what supreme means? The ultimate, the highest. There's no, the epitome of happiness. There is no happiness greater to any degree. That is it. Now I'm telling you, you can have supreme happiness on earth. That's what I represent. I am supreme happiness. That's who I am. Praise God. Now if I was supreme hell, all your enemies would direct you to me. They'd turn my people right over to me without hindrance. I'd be in headlines every day if I was supreme hell. So you know who I am just by how your enemies talk about me. The fact they cast my name out as evil to keep my people away from me proves I'm the opposite of evil. And when you come and investigate me, you find I am supreme happiness if you want to live what I teach. Praise God. Now all the day long you're taught supreme evil from the bottomless pit. All right, bliss, baby.
Bliss. The joy of heaven.
All right, supreme happiness. How many would like to have forever supreme happiness? You sound, your hand seems to indicate that you really kind of have an idea what that means. Supreme happiness means nothing else enters your mind. Nothing negative, no downers. This man is so wicked, he got a pill called an upper, and he has a pill called a downer. He can speed you up and slow you down. He can take you out and bring you back. This devil is awesome. And teach you to love an upper, a temporary upper, and then teach you to love taking a temporary downer. When you can have supreme happiness eternally, continuously, non-stop. One supreme orgasm that just don't quit. An orgasm is a sign of heaven. That's all it is. Yahweh doesn't let you have too much of it too long at a time. It's just too much. It'll overwhelm you. It'll overwhelm you to such an extent you'll say, that's enough. That's enough, baby. Oh, baby, that's enough. I can't take no more. That's enough. See, I'm the God of supreme happiness. I know what I'm talking about. And I know what to do. Oh yes, because I created heaven, so I know how to make the heaven. Oh yes, I do. I know exactly where heaven is. Know the direct route to heaven. Straight out. I don't have to go around no routes or nothing. Right? Straight to heaven. And it's celestial too. It truly is a mind thing. You can connect through the terrestrial. So you can be on the terrestrial and enjoy that celestial. Oh yeah. That ought to tell you about heaven. See, it's right here. Everything I need to enjoy heaven, I have it. Right here within myself. I can make myself feel good. I just be narcissistic. I look in the mirror and just, oh, wow. You look good, Yahweh. You get right off right there. Just look at myself and just, wow. Be supremely happy just from myself. Oh, yeah, you know how it is. Some of you know what I'm talking about. You can enjoy heaven on this earth from within yourself. That ought to tell you where it is. Dead means you don't get that no more. Child, going back to bliss.
Bliss, heaven, paradise.
There's the word. Paradise. That's an earthly phenomenon. Read.
A cause of great joy.
A cause of great joy. You can have great joy on earth. Go ahead.
Bliss, delight.
Delight. There are many delightful things. And there are many delightful thoughts. You just don't have to die and go to another planet to have this. You have delight right here. See, I'm painting the goal for you before I take you to the point of whether you qualify or not. Bliss.
Bliss, happiness.
Happiness. Heaven is happiness. That's a state of mind. You don't understand that all these points are state of mind? All of which are attainable in this life with Yahweh. Okay, come on.
Felicity.
Felicity. How sweet felicity is. Right? Now you don't know what it is. Somebody, yes, sir. You've never looked up felicity in your life. And if you've looked it up, wonderful. But see, most of us will be hollering, yes, I haven't looked up felicity. Bliss.
Bliss.
You're going to look it up now. I bet you look up felicity now. Want to know how to spell it? Spell it for me, baby.
Felicity. Felicity. Felicity.
Bliss.
Bliss. Enjoyment.
Enjoy. Listen, heaven is enjoyment. But what you experience on earth is a temporary enjoyment. Heaven is continuous. Get the point? Heaven is not a temporary phenomenon or state. It's a continuous, eternal state, never ending. It never changes. All of that is attainable on earth with Yahweh. Read.
Delectation.
Who?
Delectation.
Delectation. Delicious? Delightful? Delicious? Yeah. I know you're going to look it up, huh? Spell it for him, baby.
Delectation. Delectation.
From delectable. Read.
Pleasure.
What? Pleasure. You don't have to die to have pleasure. In fact, I've never seen a dead man say it feels good. They have those men that like to lay with dead women, you know, after they die. What's that word? Necromaniac. He's a necromaniac. And not one woman, dead woman, ever said, that's a delight. Pleasure is on earth. Read, baby.
Luxury.
Is that off the earth or on earth? On earth. Luxury is heaven. Where the Arabs live. The rulers of India. The rulers of all countries. Proof where heaven is. Proof you don't have to die to enjoy luxury. I'm giving you the sign now. Don't you see I'm creating luxury? You don't see it? See, if you don't want to live in luxury, stay away from me. You who think it's an honor to live in a dirty house, stay away from me. Well, I just want enough to get along. Don't you come near me. You have to go with the God that taught you to be like that. But see, that's not Yahweh. No. See, Yahweh is of heaven. Heaven is what? Luxury. Huh? So I don't know any other way to travel but in luxury. I mean, that's it. I don't know any other way to dress. I know what luxury is. My Bible tells me when I put on fine linen, that's as fine as you can get on this earth. The best luxury you can wear is linen. And the more wrinkles it is, the more luxurious it is. You know what I mean? Say, wow, because Yahweh knows what luxury is. Fine linen, honey. And everybody that knows what luxury is, know when you have on linen. That's linen, honey. May not be able to afford it, but they know what it is. With all people who enjoy luxury, know fine stuff when they see it. See, fine linen is above fine silk. Both are created by Yahweh. Silk comes from a worm created by Yahweh. Linen comes from a plant. Flax comes from flax. It's a plant. Yahweh created the plant. Turn a plant into clothing. Turn a worm product into clothing. And that's luxury. I'm proving all that heaven is attainable right here on this earth in the now. When you join Yahweh, you join yourself on to Yahweh. Make up your mind to become a servant of Yahweh. That's all to it. See, some of us know what it means to be a servant of Yahweh. Some of us do. Praise Yahweh. It is impossible to serve Yahweh and be poor. I said it's impossible. Besides, it's against the law. It's illegal to serve Yahweh and be poor. Illegal. Can you imagine having a God that forces you to be rich in serving Him? I mean, that's the way it is. You know, when you work for Him, you don't get a paycheck. You get luxury, supreme happiness, pleasure, bliss, paradise, heaven while you live, health, eternal life, no more pain, no hunger. You have the most delectable, healthy food and drink in existence when you serve Yahweh, when you become a servant. See, serving Yahweh is not putting on white, but servants of Yahweh put on white. Money does not make for heaven, but heaven includes money. All of it. All the money. I insist that you have all the money. I have a plan where you'll always have all the money. Even if you pay somebody a wage, all the money will still come back to you. I got a plan. I got it planned like that. It's already written. That's my plan. Oh yeah, you can't ever lose it. It'll always be in your treasure. Even if you pay 100 million people in another country to work for you and labor, still all the gold and silver come right back to my treasure house. That's my plan. I got it fixed like that. Praise God. That's so that you can live in luxury eternally. As my wife, as my son, as my daughters, as my children. I have a plan, an eternal plan that guarantees you living in luxury forever. Cannot fail. Right on this earth. And if you didn't know it, the earth, I created the earth to be inhabited forever. Where? Ecclesiastes what? 1:4. Some of you thought the earth is coming to an end. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. The world is coming to an end, but not the earth. The world is definitely coming to an end. It doesn't have long to go. But the planet Earth shall remain forever with us on it. So don't worry about going to heaven somewhere. I'm proving heaven is on earth. If you never going to go somewhere else, then it's got to be here. Ecclesiastes 1:4. Read and see. Read.
One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
Now, somebody told you the world was going to be destroyed? Or the planet? You didn't understand, did you? This Feast of Weeks has taught us there are many worlds. There's an underworld, there's a world we are, there's a heavenly world. Some even speaks about 7 heavens. Check out the earth. The earth is made to be inhabited how long? No matter who has passed away before us, see, the earth is still here. So where is heaven? Now that helps to change your whole attitude about life. Just discovering where heaven is. And at the same time, I'm teaching you what heaven is. And then I'm going to teach you whether you qualify or not, your present condition. I think some of us know a lot about our present condition. But you're learning a great deal this feast about your present condition. But you got to learn a lot more to get from where you are to heaven. Now we're discovering it's a state of mind. Bliss is a state of mind that creates a condition for luxury. Luxury is both a state of mind and reality. In the real world, like convenience of air conditioning on a 110 hot day, you be cool. That's luxury. Riding in your automobile for an even temperature, no matter what it is outside, is luxury. And to be able to get a new one without sorrow about the payments and get the one you want is luxury. And to have a water bed instead of a hard bed can be luxury. And to have a supremely happy mate instead of a hell raiser, instead of one that's raising Cain, that's still raising Cain, is luxury. Last thing you want, brother, is a sister raising Cain. Sister, the last man on earth you want is a brother still raising Cain. You've never been taught like this. Doesn't it make you feel bad to have gone to church all your life and gave out all your money and watched your mama give out all her money? Doesn't it make you feel ashamed that you were tricked like this and didn't know nothing about heaven? Isn't it a sin? It's right here, definable. Heaven is right here, definable. You have all this on earth, and they got you tricked out, giving up your money, waiting to die. While your preacher lives in, book tells you what they are, all of them, thieves and robbers. Everybody before me is a thief and a robber. Where? John 10:8. I'm not just making these things up. Everybody but Yahweh is a thief and a robber. That means everybody you're working for but Yahweh is a thief and a robber. Read.
All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them.
Now you, my sheep, are saying, later for the thieves and robbers. I'm coming to serve Yahweh and enjoy heaven on earth while I live in luxurious splendor, bliss, supreme happiness, pure joy, with absolute pleasure, in felicity. That's what I offer you. And when you become my disciple, I insist that you have it. There you go. Bliss.
Bliss, joy, joyousness, exaltation, elation, rapture.
Wait a minute. Go back to exaltation. See, you want to be exalted? Exaltation is heaven. Right. Proverbs 14:34. Let me show you how you can enjoy exaltation, which is heaven. Exaltation is heaven. It's a law. It's the law of Yahweh for you to be exalted. It's against the law of Yahweh for you not to be exalted. And you have to break his law to not be exalted. You have to break Yahweh's law to not be exalted. What's the word? Unexalted, I guess? That's a good way to say it, isn't it? You have to break Yahweh's law to be unexalted. If that's not a word, but I just made it up. Because it's the opposite of exalted. It's un. Is it in there? Yo, it's in there. Don't worry about it, Don. It's in there now because I said it. It's against the law of Yahweh to be unexalted. And you have to break his laws to be unexalted. To be unexalted makes you a sinner. To be unexalted makes you a reproach. Something to be hated by all people. To be unexalted causes you to be a proverb, spoken of as a proverb and a byword. Read.
Righteousness exalteth a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people.
Breaking the laws of Yahweh is a reproach to any people. What is reproach? Turn to it. Shame, disgrace.
Reproach. To find fault with a person, group, etc. Blame. Censure. To upbraid or scold. To be a cause of blame or discredit to. Blame or censure conveyed in disapproval. An expression of upbraiding, censure, or reproof. Disgrace, discredit, or blame. A cause or occasion of disgrace or discredit. An object of scorn or contempt.
Back to bliss. Look what it takes to be in heaven. Righteousness. It requires exaltation. Heaven. Does this make you want to go back and slap your teacher upside the head? I mean, why didn't you teach me what it took to be in heaven, man? What did I go to school for? Spent up all my money in college and didn't learn how to be exalted. Makes you want to, I'm just being funny when I say that, but it makes you want to lash out at somebody that wasted your life. Nobody taught you how to be exalted. Enjoy heaven. What's the purpose of education if it's not to enjoy heaven? Everybody in the world is searching for heaven, and they're all cracking up about it. They've all joined on to Cain and become a co-conspirator with Cain. They are better known as cocainites. Looking for what? A high. See, the whole world is willing to pay for a high. You just as damn drinking vodka as you are in crack. Both do the same thing to you. Destroy you. Strong alcohol and cocaine will do the same to your potency. Do the same. Take your potency, your strength. Look at this class tonight. This part is almost finished. I don't have much time left for this part. I'm telling you where heaven is and what it is. Shocking. But it's true nevertheless. Who knows more about heaven than the God of heaven? Bliss, baby.
Bliss. Elation.
Elation. Isn't that a mind thing? Sounds to me like that's what that is. Putting away half of the book already. I'm just on one word. As usual. Bliss.
Bliss. Rapture.
Rapture. On earth. Ooh, I'm just raptured. Wow. Not the sky virgin. We're talking about this thing right here on this earth right now that you can have. Enjoy. Yeah. Bliss.
Bliss. Jubilation.
Jubilation. Jubilee. Jubilation. Isn't that something? Where do you have jubilation? Where are jubilees held? On earth. You can't verify jubilee anywhere else. But we can verify jubilee on earth.
This concludes part 1 of What is Heaven?
Loading. One moment, please. The new Yahweh Ben Yahweh website now offers the latest in streaming technology to aid you in your study of the laws and teachings of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Visit YahwehBenYahweh.com and learn about the Tetragrammaton, the meaning of the crucifixion, and how to keep the Sabbath. YahwehBenYahweh.com is your home for truth and insight. Read about Operation Word War and how you can work to balance justice. Shalom.
Shalom. This is part 2 of What is Heaven?
Have you ever noticed the natives on all islands and all places of the world lived in paradise until a certain fella came and took their God and gave them his? Took their system from them and gave them his system? Everybody on the island, everything was in perfection. Enjoying heaven. Coconuts, bananas, unlimited fish. You know, it's the same fella that went off into all the jungles and everywhere else and eliminated paradise. They were on a mission of changing paradise to hell. I mean, they came to your country and your land where you were happy with your wives. The wives were happy and the husbands happy. And they told you it was against their God to have more than one wife. And in America and under him, all women are unhappy. They're all unhappy. And they're all fighting over somebody else's man. Instead of being happy with one man, they just like a bunch of men. That's not my subject. I'm just telling you, everybody was happy until a certain fella came along. Everything was fine. Wasn't nobody unhappy. Now he got you saying, this is mine. Exclusively all to myself. I'm not sharing. And it's a real hard thing in your heart. He got you so selfish, doesn't it? And you be unhappy, selfish like that. You're unhappy because you're always worried. Yeah. More than half the marriages broke up behind that selfishness. I just can't live with him no more. I caught him. A fella brought hell on earth. Cain's seed went all over the planet proselytizing and changed paradise, changed happiness into unhappiness. And he did it if he had to destroy the natural economy. And if he can't destroy their natural economy, then he comes in with his teachings and makes them unhappy with their heaven. And he tells them and teaches them they are poor. I mean, here's people been living for thousands of years on the island, and Yahweh supplying their every need. No sickness, no, just paradise. Heaven on earth. Nice breeze always blowing. Didn't need any soap. Just take a little swim in the ocean 2 or 3 times a day and smelling real good, all salted down, purified. no wars. And he come in there with his philosophy. Certain fella, y'all know who he is. I'm not going to call his name. But y'all know who he is. Same fella all over the planet. He come in there and make you dissatisfied with your lifestyle. That's what he did in heaven. What you think his seed is going to do? Bliss.
Bliss. Ecstasy.
Ooh, I love ecstasy. I love being ecstatic. Ooh, to be in ecstasy. How many have ever looked that word up? Some of y'all have looked up, y'all must have been looking for heaven. Extreme joy, huh? Ultimate gratification. Ecstasy. Total satisfaction. Ecstasy. Heaven on earth while I'm living. Huh? Say, ooh, child. I mean, how many admit it's wonderful to be in ecstasy? Isn't it? Yeah. And just think, in Yahweh, it can be like that all the time. It was like that forever until Lucifer.
Bliss. Ravishment.
Ravish. Ravish. All of it. Don't leave any. Going for it. Okay.
Exhilaration.
Exhilaration. On earth. Everything about heaven is obtainable on earth.
Gaiety.
Gaiety is heaven on earth. Anybody glad about this subject? You've learned more about heaven tonight than in your life. Yes.
Jollity.
Like jovial.
Gladness.
Heaven is gladness. Have you ever been glad on earth? Anybody ever been glad? Well, you can be glad all the time. See, it's a fella on the earth that's blocking your heaven and ecstasy and luxury. And he's called Satan. And where does he reside? In your mind. Where does heaven reside? So where does hell reside? Who's responsible? We're responsible for Satan residing in our mind. We didn't have to accept Lucifer. I mean, he only enticed you, invited you. Same today. Wicked people just invite you to be wicked. They don't force you to be wicked. You smoke? No. Well, try one. I don't care to. Why not? It won't kill you. Lying right there. Come on, just try it once. I mean, it's act like they're on a job or something. Getting paid, you know. Do you drink? No. What are you, a teetotaler? Start trying to make you feel bad because you said no. What's wrong with you? Nothing. Oh, well, here's a party pooper. Hey, I'm not a party pooper, I just don't want to drink. Square, he's square. Square, yeah. I'm not square, I'm round. Don't you see how fat I am? I just don't want to drink. Well, don't hang around him. He's different from the rest of us, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes. You heard those? Thinks he's better than everybody else. Like being better is a sin. See, being better than everybody else is exaltation. So the wicked attack your exaltation, to try and wear your mind down. I mean, you ever had a roach? Yeah, a lot of them in my house. I spray them all the time. Oh man, you know what I mean. I'm talking about, little weeds. Weeds, I got a lot of weeds too. I cut them all the time. I don't let them grow on my grass. Oh, you see, man, you trying to be funny. No, I'm not. I have weeds all around. I keep them cut. I really do. Well, you know what I mean, little grass. Yeah, I got grass out there too. Did you see it? Beautiful lawn. I'm not talking, well, that's what you said, grass. Well, that's not what I mean. I mean pots. Yeah, I got a lot of pots, stainless steel pots, Tupperware pots, all in the kitchen. You want to see my pots? They're the best, I'm telling you. I pay big money for my pots. Oh, yeah, you being funny. No, I'm not. I'm telling you I have pots. Well, I mean, like marijuana. Marijuana? What is that? Ganji. No, Ganji. No, I don't want to go for no Gandhi. I heard about he was in India. Will they leave you alone? They keep on trying. Well, look, it's a funny kind of cigarette. Well, I don't want to smoke. Hey, it won't hurt you. It'll make you high. I'm already high. But I mean, try it. This is really neat. Gold. This gold. I mean, it told me marijuana is gold now. Man, you can't smoke gold. Gold is, you have to get it to a high temperature. It'll burn you to pieces. You talk about smoking some gold. You can't smoke no gold, man. They told me it was gold. It's Colombian. Man. Yeah, I had some neighbors were from Colombia. They were Colombian. What are they doing? They're trying to disguise destruction and make it palatable to you by calling it grass and pot. So you're familiar with grass and you're familiar with pots and you're familiar with, or at least you heard. You're not familiar with gold, but you heard about gold. Cause you know what I mean? So they use words that you're familiar with to make it more palatable, make it seem like it's more all right, and it's supposed to do something for you. And to hook you, they give it to you first. It's always free. Nobody that ever went for cocaine bought it first and never had it. Always gave it to you free. And when they give it to you, they say, see, it won't hook you. Man, they lie. You quit anytime you want to. The only time you quit is when your money run out and you can't steal enough to get any more, and you quit against your will. But they don't tell you that. Now you're after a temporary, superficial, earthly, terrestrial, chemical high that you pay big money for. It costs you your wealth, and it costs you your luxury. You lose your luxury going after that high that you pay them for. Whereas Yahweh gives you a high that you don't ever have to come down. And instead of taking from you, he adds luxury to you. Bliss.
Bliss, cheer, glee,
Glee, G-L-E-E.
joyance, enchantment, transport, captivation, fascination.
Where does all this take place? In your mind. My Lord.
Gratification.
Gratification. Heaven is gratification. Where you get that? I mean, that's on earth, right? Be careful about asking you where you get gratification. But it is on earth. You ever been gratified? Yeah, see? How many of you been gratified? You've ever been gratified? If you don't know anything about gratification, you're missing out on heaven. You can't understand what heaven is about if you've never been gratified. See, you don't even have a sign, you don't have a reference point to heaven. Gratification gives you a reference point. Only in Yahweh, it's just continuous. There's just no letdown. You know, it's always like that. How many want ecstasy and ecstatic gratification just continuous, just 24 hours a day? When you go to bed, you go in ecstasy, and then you dream ecstasy, and when you wake up, you're still in ecstasy, and you spend all day in ecstasy and bliss and joy and enchantment and felicity, supreme happiness, just eternally. Anybody want to live like that? Well, you can. Yahweh is the way you live like that. Because Yahweh is the creator of heaven. That's why. Yahweh gave you the propensity and potentiality for gratification. Oh, that's wonderful. I like that. I love gratification.
Bliss, fulfillment.
Fulfillment. Fill to the full. That your cup overflows. See, that's a part of heaven, huh? It's so good, you don't even need another refill. It just overflows. Just keep on going. It's just, How many would like that? See, that's what I offer, just a continuous overflow. Unending. Yes, I do now. I'm so powerful that I can give it to all of you and never lose my gratification. That's how powerful I am. See, I'm joy to the world and still have mine. Joy to the world, your Savior is come. Let heaven and earth rejoice. See, I keep everybody in heaven happy while I'm on earth. That's how powerful I am. I'm incredible. I know. What makes me so wonderful is I insist that you have it. I'm come to show you the way to eternal bliss. Look what bliss is, all these attributes. Give me some more gratification, honey.
Bliss, contentment.
Contentment. You know what contentment means? It means I'm satisfied. I mean, I don't care how much food is out now. I'm content. I had my fill. I'm absolutely full. I'm filled to the full. To the extent that I'm content. I am satiated. Yes, I'm satiated. Every kind of way. So just absolutely satiated. I'm just plain satiation. Yeah, you don't know what it is, you're missing one of the joys. I know, I'm telling you what I am, so you can have this. You can be satiated. I am. Whew, it's good too. Yeah, it's good being content. It's heavenly just hearing me talk about heaven. There's a certain amount of gratification just hearing me talk about heaven. See, as I describe bliss for you, you don't have a problem in the world. As I am bringing and unfolding and revealing heaven to you, you don't know dissatisfaction. Because I've taken hold to your mind. Yes, I've grabbed hold of your mind, and all you can think right now is bliss. That's it. I mean, that's really all you can think right now. Bliss.
Bliss. Glory.
What? Glory? Glory? Glory. Heaven is a glorious state of mind that brings about a glorious condition. And you just say glory to Yahweh, the giver. Glory to Yahweh. Oh yeah, it'll make you say it, honey. Yeah, it will. All you have to do is try it sometime. Whenever anything is good to you, say praise Yahweh and watch what happens. What? Whew. Just call my name and watch and see what happens. I send you on out there. You be saying, oh Yahweh, oh Yahweh, Yahweh, oh Yahweh, Yahweh, oh Yahweh. And the more you call my name, the better it is. It's glorious. Glory time.
Glory. Extolment. Laudation. Acclaim. Acclamation. Kudos. Accolade. Magnification. Citation. Eclat. Tribute. Testimonial. Credit. Recognition. Eulogy. Eulogium. Eulogization. Encomium. Panegyric. Exaltation. Glorification. Honor. Crown. Approval. Approbation. Paean. Dignity. Stateliness. Courtliness. Solemnity. Gravity. Majesty. Nobility. Nobleness. Imposingness. Loftiness. Sublimity. Grandeur. Exaltation. Gloriousness. Worthiness. Excellence. Impressiveness. Eminence. Prestige. Notability. Fame. Illustriousness. Repute. Reputation. Notoriety. Notoriousness. Renown. Distinction. Note. Name. Celebrity. Popularity. Popular favor. Vogue. Figure. Mark. Object of pride. Boast. Esteem. Admiration. Appreciation. Respect. Honor. reverence, veneration, adoration, worship, benediction, blessing, venison, Hosanna, praise, thanksgiving, gratitude, magnificence, splendor, resplendent, pomp, triumph, success, victory, flying colors, flourish, fanfare, parade, pageantry, show, display, elegance, luxury, affluence, state, prosperity, good fortune, heyday, prime, zenith, summit, acme, crest, pinnacle, height, top, culmination, consummation, maximum, optimum, radiant, refulgent, effulgent, shining, brightness, brilliance, brilliancy, illumination, luminosity, glitter, sparkle, shimmer, glimmer, dazzle, luster, sheen, gloss, omniscience, omnipresent, omnipotent, ubiquity, infinity,
Praise God. I can't take it. I have to stop for a breather, get a drink of water or something, take a break. This ecstasy is getting to me. Do you understand that all of these attributes belong to you? That every one of these words is your inheritance? And that all nations of the earth expect you to exhibit these qualities? And all of this state of mind creates a heavenly condition in the physical world. All of this spells heaven for you living your life in infinity. Go ahead, child. Keep on. Ooh, this is some kind of, we're seeing everything come out in here. Effulgence, luminosity, great light. You come into the light. Now you seek the great light. So what are you seeking? Heaven. Everybody is expecting you to be omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. You, if the Holy Spirit of Yahweh is omnipresent in you, and at the same time everywhere. Praise Yahweh. Look at the glory that is due you. Look at the glory that you're going to enjoy. Go ahead, child.
Glory, infinite wisdom,
What? That's your inheritance. And that is heaven. And you don't die to get that. That's on earth. That's to be inhabited forever. Any of you want infinite wisdom? All you have to do is receive me. That's what I am, don't you see? Aren't you beginning to tell that my mind is divine? And if you don't understand my mind is divine, it's only because you don't understand divine. All of this is heaven. Some more? Give it to me.
glory, infinite goodness, infinite justice, infinite truth, infinite love, infinite mercy, heaven, paradise, eternity, kingdom come.
Not kingdom go. Kingdom come. Yeah, not go to kingdom. Kingdom come. Where I am. I'm on earth. See, the prayer lets you know you can't go somewhere else, so you have to have heaven come to earth. And it happens one way, by the will of Yahweh. Let thy will be done. Where? We've been lied to. Let thy will be done as in the moment you have a heavenly mind, you'll have heaven on earth. Now, it must be somebody sleeping now. It must be too much. I must be giving out too much. Huh? I'm not giving out. Am I giving out too much? This has me fired up. I'm just trying. I'm fired up to know that when the will of Yahweh is done on earth, just as it is in heaven, that's synonymous. That's indistinguishable. So enjoying heaven on earth is no big deal. The problem is getting hell out your mind and allowing heaven to enter. Now we can see the ideal now. Heaven is my goal. I say heaven is my goal. Now, with all of this knowledge of heaven in the book, the people that put you in slavery didn't allow you to read for 310 years. So you would never discover heaven. And then when they said it was safe to free you in 1865, they knew they had succeeded in killing you. spiritually and mentally. And then it was safe to let you read their teachings from Lucifer and Cain. So what you were taught was the opposite of this. That tells you the nature of your teacher. And now your wicked teacher is no longer the subject. The subject now is the teaching. Yeah. See, the teaching is the problem now. It's no longer the teacher. It's the teachings are in you that makes for your earthly condition being the opposite of heaven. And if you don't recognize your mental condition, you'll never get to heaven. Not everybody talking about heaven is going to enter. See, talking about heaven just isn't going to get you there. See, we've been talking about heaven all night. But you still can't get there. At this moment, heaven is still an unattainable goal, though you now have an insight to heaven as to what heaven is. Now, you can view it like going to the mountaintop. You can see heaven. See, that was symbolized by Moses. Moses was allowed, he was taken up in the mind and allowed to look over into New Jerusalem. But since he left Egypt with the old man, the old mind, the mind of Egypt, he was not allowed to go physically into Old Jerusalem, which was a sign that you would not be able to enter New Jerusalem unless with the old mind. So you will have to leave America mentally. Give up all the teachings you learned in America, Egypt, if you want to enjoy heaven, or if you want to miss it like Moses did. See, Moses was skilled in all the wisdom of Egypt. He was running for his life because he didn't know he was exiled away from his own people, because he didn't know Yahweh's name. I said Moses did not know Yahweh's name, but he knew everything about Pharaoh, Pharaoh's court, Pharaoh's teaching. He knew all of Pharaoh's teaching, but all of Pharaoh's teachings didn't free him or the children of Israel. He couldn't lead the children of Israel out of slavery with Pharaoh's knowledge. Are you hearing me? And all the PhDs and masters and bachelors and engineers and whatever you can learn in Pharaoh America's court system of education, you cannot free your people, neither can you free yourself. You are bound to remain in hell. You are bound to be a servant to people who abuse you and use you and misuse you. You are bound as long as it's forever. You are bound forever to America, to be their tool and their fool as long as you retain their knowledge. You will have to do like Moses and learn about the God of your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Listening to a leader talk about how you are treated in America and talking about who mistreats you in America will never set you free. Moses knew all about Pharaoh's teaching, but it took Yahweh new knowledge he didn't have. That's you. It takes a knowledge you do not have to enter heaven. Now, Satan is so skillful with his teachings in America that you are brainwashed and programmed to believe you are already free, that you can do whatever you want. though in reality you have more restrictions than you ever dreamed. But you're satisfied to be able to go from street to street and town to town and movie to movie. And it's all right with him as long as it's dirty and nasty and filthy and wicked. Now heaven is all these things you're talking about, including luxury, eternity, infinite wisdom. Infinite wisdom is infinite rulership. Now, until you understand your present spiritual and mental condition, you can't break free to enter heaven. It's just impossible. Incredible. I said it's incredible. We've learned more about heaven tonight. Incredible.
This concludes part 2 of What is Heaven?
Loading. One moment, please. The new Yahweh Ben Yahweh website now offers the latest in streaming technology to aid you in your study of the laws and teachings of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Visit YahwehBenYahweh.com and learn about the Tetragrammaton, the meaning of the crucifixion, and how to keep the Sabbath. YahwehBenYahweh.com is your home for truth and insight. Read about Operation Word War and how you can work to balance justice. Shalom.
Shalom. This is part 3 of What is Heaven?
Promised land.
The land Yahweh promised. Where is it? The whole earth.
Kingdom of heaven. Celestial happiness. Eden.
Where was Eden? On earth. So Eden was what? Heaven where? I have proven my case. Irrefutably. Genesis chapter 1. Where is heaven located? On earth. Where on earth? In our mind. It's just some more dirt if your mind is not right. Genesis 2:8. Genesis 2:8. Read.
And the Lord God Yahweh planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed.
Heaven right on earth. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Read.
In the beginning, Yahweh created the heaven and the earth.
Together. Together. And is a conjunction, connection. So where did Yahweh? This is the first proof where heaven was created. And if you travel out in space and look back at the universe, there's only one beautiful planet. It's blue, the beautiful blue. All the rest of them are dead. They don't look, you don't see life. The most beautiful planet. You know it's heaven just when you get out there. You be coming right back. You say, no, I'm going to hang out on Mars. I'm going on back to Earth. I'm going to heaven. In this particular universe, that's the only heaven there is, earth. Yeah, go out. Take some pictures and see. You'll come back to earth. You say right away, I'm going to heaven. You can go where you want. I'm going to heaven. I can see heaven. That's that blue ball out there. Yahweh created heaven and earth together. Somebody lied to us. Prove my case. Genesis 2:4. No, I'm going to go back. I'm going back. Genesis 1, verse 8 and 9. Read.
And Yahweh called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day.
This is how you count time. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so.
The earth is heaven. When the land appeared, that was heaven. Where did the land appear? The dry land appeared out of the wet water. Let the waters under the heaven be gathered. Yahweh did a raising. He raised the earth. Dry land. The whole planet is the earth. So heaven is the planet. Heaven. Genesis 2:4. Read.
These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God Yahweh made the earth and the heavens.
So that's interchangeable. See, the first time he said heavens and earth, then he let you know it's the same. Then he reversed and said the earth and the heavens. Meaning they are what? They're together. So where is heaven located? Somebody tricked us. Heaven is a mind thing. Genesis chapter 11, verse 4, you see heaven is a mind thing. Read.
And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
They failed to make of themselves a good name because they were subordinate. They were inferior. They had an inferior mind. Children of Cain. So they were scattered. But notice what heaven is, a good name. On earth, a good name. They wanted to reach to heaven, but they were incapable. They were unable. See, they had already killed Abel. So they were not qualified. Now, I taught you that last night, so I'm letting you put it together. See, they murdered Abel. Abel was in the ground, in the dirt. That's where you are, in the ground, in the dirt. But I'm here to resurrect you out of it. You have to understand that's your condition. Now, I've gotten rid of that, a whole part of another book. That's the only way I'm going to get through is don't do this part of the book. It's a lot of books. I'm just doing one page. That's the second page, but I have a whole book. That's the way it is. I've only taught you, not even a page, I've taught you a word. I've carried you through heaven and earth with one word. Praise God. Now, your dictionary says that heaven is a divine abode. Get your dictionary. I think that's what it says. That heaven is a divine abode.
Heaven, the abode of Yahweh, the angels, and the spirits of the righteous after death.
Your enemies knew, the enemy of Yahweh, the enemy of heaven, the enemy of the people of heaven, the enemies of the sons and daughters of heaven, they knew they could put this in the dictionary and know which way you would take it until your Savior comes. This is clear proof that all of our leaders, all of our educators, all of our scientists, all of our doctors, all of our lawyers are not only blind, deaf, dumb, ignorant, but also dead. It says that in order to enter heaven, before you can enter heaven, you must be born again. Praise Yahweh. Now the people of the earth knew you were coming back again. See, in Genesis you were in heaven. You were created in heaven. Put in heaven. You were once in heaven, and you were kicked out of heaven, and then that's when you experienced death. You died. Yahweh says, if you eat of the tree of evil and good, you will surely die. And you can only live in heaven after death. You have already died. Being born again means you have to die first. Now, the terrestrial mind says, how can I enter my mother's womb again? But now you understand another scripture. You must kill the old man before you can take on a new man. Now, just in case you don't understand kill and that's too harsh for you, the word says you must cast out the whole man. That's the only way you can take on the new man. You're going to have to empty your glass. Get rid of all that corrupted, polluted water. So your glass can be filled, your cup can be filled with a new. Well, that'll take care of this book. And I didn't even get to the first word of that book. I just happen to know the book. I'm the book. Isn't it gratifying to see that veil being moved back? Praise Yahweh. Now, if you've been missing my classes and missing this feast and missing, what I teach, then you are mystified at what I'm saying. But if you have been studying to show yourself approved under Yahweh, then as I speak, you can see the veil moving back, beginning to see. Why is your mind called the old man? He's an old serpent. How old is that man mind in you? 6,000 years old. He's an old devil. these are all crooked set of thoughts. But I am come to make the crooked things straight. Praise Yahweh. Your enemies never wanted you to hear these words you're hearing this week. Your enemies thought they had beat prophecy. Yet you are hearing divinity. That's what you're hearing. And I'm speaking a language that the world cannot understand. Though it's English, I'm speaking a sublime English. I'm speaking a sublime Hebrew. If I spoke the Hebrew that I spoke to Adam, then you would still be kicked out again. If I spoke the same Hebrew that I spoke to Moses, you'd never see New Jerusalem. But I'm speaking a sublime Hebrew. If we were speaking my regular Hebrew language, you couldn't get high like you get it. You couldn't be set free like you're being set free. You could not be delivered with the regular old Hebrew. I come doing a new work, a new thing, with a sublime language that even though the whole world, 10% of the world speak English, they can't understand my language. No matter how well versed my enemy and your enemy is, whether he uses a lexicon or he calls himself a linguist or he uses a thesaurus or if he uses a synonym finder, anonym finder, word finder, dictionary, encyclopedia, or whatever, Bible interpreter's dictionary, with all of my tools, he can't understand my language. When I'm speaking English to the unlearned and the unlettered, it's like I'm speaking in parables. I'm speaking allegorically and metaphor and in simile, prophetically and symbolically. And being a scholar won't help you understand what I speak. You have to be born again. Praise Yahweh. And before you are born again, there's another requirement. My message is so celestially sublime that of 5 billion people on the planet Earth, all of them speaking English, only the genes and chromosomes of 144,000 are capable of understanding, comprehending, inculcating, and practicing what I teach. A poor man can't go to heaven. Can't do it. Can't do it. Although the scriptures say the poor and the meek shall inherit the earth, but you can't inherit it poor. Why are you poor? The Bible describes a poor person as one who is destitute of wealth and destitute of material goods, lacking even the necessities of life. And when the poor came to the apostles seeking physical wealth, although they had plenty of it, they said, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I unto you. Acts what? 3:6. Giving a poor man silver and gold won't qualify him to enter heaven. You can be like the rich man and have $1 billion, 100 million, 2, 4, 500 $1 million, and you still won't qualify to enter heaven. Even with all the money, you won't qualify. And being poor, you sure enough can't qualify. It's illegal for a poor man to be in heaven. And being rich does not guarantee you heaven. And begging for money won't create heaven for you. Read.
Then Peter said, Silver and gold have I none, but such as I have give I thee. In the name of Yahweh Ben Yahweh of Nazareth, rise up and walk.
Walk. That means without help. Without depending on somebody to help you walk. Get up off of welfare and walk. Get up off of depending on folks for jobs and walk for yourself. You don't need no set aside. Quit waiting on set aside. Get up and walk for yourself. Like the man you begging, he's walking. White people are walking for themselves. They don't ask you to help them walk. Get up and walk. Quit asking for help. Rise up, Black Judah. Rise up, black man. Walk the road of self-sufficiency and independence for yourself and know what it means to be a creator, a sustainer, an employer, a free man, a provider, a supplier, one who aids, one who assists. No nigger can go to heaven. That's why I wrote your book. I told you you're not a nigger. I'm telling you, you can't go to heaven as a nigger. You can't be niggardly and go to heaven. It's antithetical. It's antithetical to heaven. Heaven's right here on earth. You found that out already. The Bible describes a poor person as one who is destitute, absolutely without wealth and material goods, lacking even the necessities of life. These are the needy. Anyone who needs deliverance from material exigencies, evil, anyone who needs help from being delivered from evil, anyone who needs help to be delivered from sin is poor and needy in respect to Yahweh. Look up EXIGENCI. Yes. Read.
Exigency, exigent state or character.
See? Hey, hold it. See? Now you're into character. Anyone who needs deliverance from their material character. Read on.
Urgency,
Urgency. Go ahead.
the need, demand, or requirement intrinsic to a circumstance, condition, etc.
You're talking about a circumstance, and you need deliverance from your circumstance. And you can't, and it's an intrinsic part of you and your makeup and your mentality. You can't enter heaven in such a need. That need has to be removed before you can enter heaven.
A case or situation which demands prompt action or remedy.
If your situation needs action and a remedy, a solution, you can't enter heaven in need of a remedy. Understand now? I mean, you say, well, we need civil rights and we need voting rights and we need, as long as you need those things, you can't enter heaven. As long as you are without a remedy and a solution to your problem, you can't enter heaven. A destitute person cannot enter heaven. one whose mind is destitute, one whose character is deficient, can't enter heaven. The poor are those whose prosperity and social status have been reduced, unexalted. Debate. Shame on you. Can't enter heaven. You can't enter heaven as one of the scorned. Neither can you enter heaven as one of the scornful. If your social status is not of the highest, you cannot enter heaven. And any preacher who preached your mama into heaven or somebody else into heaven and they had a low social status, they just took your money and make you feel good for nothing because they sure not in heaven. Heaven is right here on earth, and you know they're not in heaven because you're not. Go to Exodus 23, verse 3. Blow your mind. 23:3. Read.
Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause.
What does countenance mean? Huh? Faith. Give me countenance. Don't face a poor man in his cause. Don't help him. Or what? Don't approve of him. He can't enter heaven. Isn't that a shock? Right here in the Bible. Read countenance.
Countenance, appearance, especially the expression of the face. The face, besides, calm facial expression, composure, approval or favor.
Never approve a poor man's cause. See how folks trick you? They say, what do you want, a grant? Okay. They're approving of you in your cause. What's the result? You stay poor. All the grant money goes to the writer, the president, the secretary, the facilitator, the director, and their immediate staff. And the people for whom the money, in whose name the money was given, which is the poor, never get any. If the writer of the program is a man, he and his women on the top get all the money, and the poor continue suffering in hell. Come on, tell me I'm wrong. Come on, give me some evidence. Give me some evidence that I'm wrong. And we're forbidden to favor or approve of a poor man in his cause. Whatever cause you have, I'll never approve of it. Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Salvation Army, or nothing else. The last thing you need is a handout. You need a hand up, a kick up. I'm never going to hand you a fish, care how poor you are. I'll hand you a fishing pole and tell you how to fish. Rise up and go fishing. You don't work, you don't deserve to eat. Where? 2 Thessalonians what? 3:10. 2 Thessalonians 3:10. They favor you with welfare. You don't have to work. AFDC, you and your children don't have to work. Social Security, you don't have to work. Retire from working, so you don't have to work. But all this money comes from those of us that work. Can you imagine getting unemployed compensation? Compensation for not being employed? You don't need anything. You need just what you have, nothing. And I'm going to see that you get just that. If I have to break America, I'll break her where you can't get nothing. I'm breaking her. Eastern and IT&T and all these other entities. I shut down 3 steel mills in the country, ship your jobs overseas to Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, Thailand, China, Europe, Russia. I got your jobs all over the world. And I'm not finished with bringing America to her knees. When I bring America to her knees, I'll bring you to your knees. You're not going to listen to Yahweh until I make your knee bow. And then when your knee bow, bring you to your knees, then your tongue will confess, Yahweh is God. Yahweh really is God. He really is. America will have to suffer being brought to her knees because she's holding on to you. She should never have brought you over here and put you in slavery in the first place. But since she did, now I am come and she has nerve to try to hinder me from raising you up out of your poor condition so you can enter heaven. She cast my name out as evil to you so you won't come and follow your Savior and your Deliverer, the one who will give you heaven. So I offer you heaven, but the enemy, your enemy, teach you don't come to me. So I'll bring your enemy to their knees. And when I bring your enemy to their knees, then you'll be on your knees. Because you can't live without your enemy. You are dependent on your enemy for life, for food, clothing, and shelter. You depend on your enemy for everything you have. And you are cracking up. Your enemy even gives you crack. Make you a co-conspirator with Cain. Make you a cocainite. Instead of using rocks to build your house, instead of using rocks to build you a factory, instead of using rocks to build you an industry, instead of using rocks to build your own school, you got the nerve to set a rock on fire and burn it up as if you're a volcano where you going to erupt. I just gave you proof in Exodus 23 and 3 that Yahweh does not approve of a poor man. I don't want nobody around me that wants to be poor. I'm not going to help you do nothing to stay poor. You poor on your own. I don't approve of nothing, nothing you do to stay poor. I don't approve of that. You know, some people, you have to push them all the way out your house before they'll go to work. They'll always run around and find somebody to lay up on so they don't pay their fair share. And think they slick. They think they slicker than me, and I just keep nudging them. I'm trying to wake the nigga up. Get on up, go to work. Do your share. You can't go to heaven with me poor. Dressing in white doesn't make you with me. There's a lot of folk in here wear white, but they're not with me. They are poor. And you can't go to heaven and be in heaven and live in heaven on earth. You'll never live in luxury with supreme happiness. You'll never live rich and be blessed for poor.
This concludes part 3 of What is Heaven?
Loading. One moment, please. The new Yahweh Ben Yahweh website now offers the latest in streaming technology to aid you in your study of the laws and teachings of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Visit YahwehBenYahweh.com and learn about the Tetragrammaton, the meaning of the crucifixion, and how to keep the Sabbath. YahwehBenYahweh.com is your home for truth and insight. Read about Operation Word War and how you can work to balance justice. Shalom.
Shalom. This is part 4 of What is Heaven?
It's against the law to be poor. Exodus 30. Exodus 30, verse 15. Read.
The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel, when they give an offering unto the Lord Yahweh to make an atonement for your soul.
What does this tell? When it comes to money, you have to give the same. Poor man has to give the same amount to Yahweh that the rich man gives. No mercy for being poor. Well, see, I can't afford. Well, you can't afford to live in heaven with me either. That's your problem. You can't afford to live in heaven. The poor man has the same requirement as the rich. What do you mean you don't have it? Well, I'm poor. My job didn't. I'm not. Well, maybe you better go get 5 jobs then. Well, I ain't gonna work that hard for nobody. Well, enjoy hell then. You're sure not gonna live in heaven. Maybe you better find out what Feast of Weeks is all about. See, the Feast of Weeks means you're supposed to get wealthy from your hand. Bring a tribute and free will offering from your own hand. So you got to get up and go to work and sow some seed, and you won't have to worry about being able to give. You'll be able to give what any rich man can give. Oh yeah. You won't be poor. When you're able to give the same as a rich man with supreme happiness, you are rich too. That means you must eliminate your poverty-stricken condition in order to be approved by Yahweh. Because see, you just can't give less than the rich man. That means you have to be rich too to give what he gives. Huh? Shocked? Anybody shocked? Find out that Yahweh requires you to be rich, and if you're poor, you're not his man. You just can't live with Yahweh poor. What a revelation. And I was raised up to hear this all my life. I'd rather have a poor man's problem than to have a rich man. Some most silly statement. I'd rather have a poor man's sleep than a rich man's problem or something. Something stupid. Huh? What was it? I'd rather have a poor man's happiness than a rich man's problem. How can a poor man be happy? I haven't seen a happy poor man in my life. He looked sad, he looked hungry, he looked pitiful, he looked he looked dirty, shoes run over, no house to live in. If it's in a shack, lights off, no running water, toilet outdoors, don't even have a jackass to ride somewhere. And you're going to tell me a poor man is happy? Heaven is supreme happiness. That eliminates the poor man right there. Leviticus 14:21. Read.
And if he be poor and cannot get so much, then he shall take 1 lamb for a trespass offering to be weighed, to make an atonement for him, and 1/10 deal of fine flour mingled with oil for a meat offering, and a log of oil.
Keep reading.
And 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, such as he is able.
Hold it right there. See, to have all this other stuff, he has to be somewhat able. That's a lot of stuff to have for a poor man. I mean, he got to be huffing to come up with a lamb. See, when he can't get much, say he's a trespasser. A trespasser is a lawbreaker. And that means he's not at one with Yahweh. He in serious trouble. And there's no excuse made for you being poor. You got to get up and get able and get something. You got to go find Abel. And Abel is dead. To a poor man, Abel is dead. See, Abel has to be resurrected in your life before you can get anything. As long as you're unable, you can't come up with nothing. Proverbs 2:16. Read.
To deliver thee from the strange woman.
See, when you are under a strange philosophy, strange woman, Babylon, the whore. Right. Babylon, the whore, is the woman. In verse 17, your problem is you've forgotten your covenant with Yahweh. Why did you forget your covenant with Yahweh? Because you are bound by the strange Babylonian woman. Her teachings. Strange means unfamiliar teaching. Unfamiliar mentality. And you see, to be delivered from a woman, can you imagine a man being bound by a woman, and a strange woman at that? I mean, your whole manhood is gone. This happened to Solomon. Your manhood is gone when a strange woman can give you her philosophy and teaching and bind you and cause you to forget your God and your covenant and agreement with your own God, who demands that you be rich. You suffer poverty when you are bound and need deliverance. In physical strength and psychological ability, the poor are impaired and they become helpless. Before Satan could subdue and hold Job in captivity, he destroyed his wealth. Job was the greatest man and the richest man in the East. But what Satan did in order to hold him captive in a strange land was take all his wealth from him. Took all his wealth, all his children. That means he was unable to pass on his knowledge of wealth to his future. He was cut off. See, even if they take your wealth, but if your children have the knowledge of your wealth and how you acquire, keep, and sustain your wealth, they'll instantly come right back with it. So Satan knows how to do a job. That's the job he did on you. He took your wealth, knowing that when you become poor, you'll be his captive and cannot enter heaven. You can't keep a poor mind and go into heaven. Don't you see it? Job 34. I'm rolling as fast as I can. Job 34, verse 28. Read.
So that they cause the cry of the poor to come unto him, and he heareth the cry of the afflicted.
Verse 27 tells you why you're poor and afflicted. Because you turned back from Yahweh and would not consider his ways. That's what's wrong with the black man of America and the black man of the world, whole wide world. When you go to Panama, it's our black brothers that are Hebrews dropped off. Guatemala is black. Nicaragua is black. These are our people brought into captivity from the shores of what is today called Africa, our Hebrew brethren. And all men of dark skin who are suffering on the planet Earth, it's because they have forgotten the ways of Yahweh. Turn their back on Yahweh, will not even consider any of the ways of Yahweh. So that they cause the cry of the poor to come to Yahweh. And I'm promised in this verse to come to you when I hear your affliction. I hear your cry. So here I am to do something about it. Change your condition from poverty to riches. so you can enter heaven. Am I doing it? Psalms 82, verse 3, read.
Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy.
4.
Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked.
That's where the poor and the needy is. Next verse, read.
They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
You read 82, Psalms 82:6, but see, you didn't read this. So now, the defender, your defender, is here. Yahweh Ben Yahweh is your defender. I am the defender of the poor. I'm letting you know you can't enter heaven and be poor, but see, you are not doomed to stay poor. Someone is here to deliver you from your poverty. And the wicked are the ones who hold you in a poor condition. I'm here to do justice for you. And I'm here to deliver all the poor and all the needy. And rid all of the poor and the needy out of the hand of the wicked. That's what I'm here to do. And just as I have taken those of you that are here now from a poor state of mind, which resulted in a poor physical condition, and I brought you to a rich state of thinking, which translates into physical riches, proving that I can do this for all of my people who receive me and believe on me and follow me. I'm here to make you rich. But I have to first show you, and I am, that I'm rich. Your deliverer, redeemer, Messiah has done it for you. But I'm working to bring your mind up out of the terrestrial into the celestial so that you can become one of the elders of Israel, so that you can become the boss, the employers, the suppliers. A poor man is a destitute man, and a destitute man cannot enter heaven. A poverty-stricken man cannot enter heaven. An impoverished man cannot enter and live in heaven. A penurious man cannot enter and live in heaven. An impecunious man cannot enter or live in heaven. You are impecunious without Yahweh. Black people of America, you are destitute, poverty-stricken, impoverished, penurious, impecunious. My people are beggars. And a beggarhead cannot enter and live in heaven. You are pauper. You've been pauperized. You, my people, have been pauperized. And no pauper can enter or live in heaven. Can't even enter heaven. Forget about residence. Have you ever noticed that a great, huge percentage of our people are happy living in the ghetto? Living in a slum dwelling with the rats and the roaches? Everything's dirty and filthy and falling apart. Have you noticed? They don't have a problem with that. I mean, they live there like that. It's natural. When you walk up to the door, the funk almost knock you a block back. And they walk right on in like nothing is wrong. Anybody ever been to a house like that? I have. I mean, do you see, don't you ask the people living there if you've been friends for a while, say, don't you smell something? And what do they say? No, what? What's the state of your mind? You have an indigent mind, a penniless mind. And a penniless mind and an indigent mind cannot enter heaven. I'm talking about your mental state. And these are the devil's angels that are living inside your house. You have a needy mentality. You have a necessitous mind. And no necessitous-minded person can enter heaven. Your mind is bad off. And nobody bad off can enter heaven. See, you'll make heaven look bad off. Yeah, if we allow one of you in that's bad off, you'll start a bad off family. And next thing I know, you'll have a bad off neighborhood in heaven. And I walk around, all of a sudden I see a bad off community. See why we can't let you in? Some of you are not only bad off, you badly off. Even worse than bad off. Can't enter heaven. If some of you have a pinched mentality. Yeah, you know, pinched. Tight it up. Squeeze together. Don't flow and be free and flexible. Can't enter heaven. Some of you have a strained mentality. Your mind is under a strain. How you going to help anybody under a strain? I can't quite pay you now, Yahweh. I know I'm supposed to give tithes, offerings, and all kinds of things, but see, I'm under a strain. And what do you think you're going to do on Heavenly Avenue? You'll turn it in, you'll rename the street to Strain Street. This is your mind. You have a distressed mind. Your mind is distressed. Distressed. De-stressed. Under stress. You lowered in stress. Can't enter heaven. Some of your minds are hard up. You ever been hard up? Didn't know how you were going to make it? Now what could you do in heaven hard up? Think on these things. Is that my people? Black folk in America are hard up. Black folk are hard up in a lot of places of the world. But I have to straighten you out first. They'll be glad for me to come when they see me straighten you out in America. See, even hard up folk on islands know they still better off than you. They got an island. They may be hard up on the island, but they say, this is my island. You don't have anything to claim. You don't even say, this is my ghetto. You just claim to be hard up. You are financially embarrassed. It's embarrassing to have financial problems. You are financially embarrassed. Now what you going to help God do in heaven? You'll embarrass heaven if they let you in. Huh? Everybody in heaven will be embarrassed when you come. Here come old, financially embarrassed. I know what they're going to do. They're going to do ask me for something. Don't have nothing to give, but here they come on the beg. Been financially embarrassed all their life. Everybody in their family is financially embarrassed. They come from a financially embarrassed family. Just downright embarrassing. See you coming, nobody be home. You hear everybody talking to you, you knocked on the door. Can't go to heaven. You better hope the end doesn't come when you out of cash. Because people out of cash can't go to heaven. And you have an out of cash mind. Why else do you not have any cash? Because of your mind. If you had the right kind of mind, you'd have some cash. All the time. You can't have cash every now and then. See, cash on payday is not cash. Cash is one of those long accounts. One of those long bank accounts. And you can give to Yahweh whatever Yahweh requires and don't feel strapped, hard up, and out of cash. Strained, strapped, bad off and stuff. You're in trouble for trying to go to heaven. You say, I need a little money, I'm running a little short. See, short folk can't go to heaven. You have to be tall. Tall money, tall mind. Can't have no short mind. Some of you have a skinny mind, skint mind, just skin. There's nothing on it. Nothing in it. Your pocket is skint. See, check out my pocket, I'm skint. Can't go to heaven. You broke, forget it. Broke, forget it. You tell me who loves broke folk, besides, even broke folk don't like broke folk. You go around, being broke folk and curse another broke man right out. You ain't no good. He broke too, talking about the other broke fella. You ought to have something sometime. How many admit that a broke man is catching hell? All these kind of folk are in hell. Yahweh's too smart to let you bring hell to heaven. Some of you are not only broke, you dead broke. Have you ever heard some people confess, I'm dead broke? Tonight this week we found out you really are dead. No wonder you broke. No wonder there's a need for a resurrection, a getting up morning. Well, I've had a ball. I hope you understand poor folk can't go to heaven. Hope you understand where heaven is. It's in the mind. You need a new mind, huh? This to me is the best feast of weeks, the best feast in my life. I enjoyed sharing my energy with you.
This concludes part 4 of What is Heaven?
Loading. One moment, please. The new Yahweh Ben Yahweh website now offers the latest in streaming technology to aid you in your study of the laws and teachings of Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Visit YahwehBenYahweh.com and learn about the Tetragrammaton, the meaning of the crucifixion, and how to keep the Sabbath. YahwehBenYahweh.com is your home for truth and insight. Read about Operation Word War and how you can work to balance justice. Shalom.